So we got this H3 Prevost in now. It's a featherlight conversion, and he had a lot of trouble getting here because things were freezing up on it. So we're going to go through. He's got all kinds of air problems and things like that. We're going to get into the air system and inspect all the bearings and stuff. So what are our concerns? Obviously, we have the moisture in the air system. We're going to put some Pultane drains on the tanks because they're inaccessible right now.
Absolutely.
And then,
also, I don't even know if you want to do it now. Those panels come off over the wheels.
Yes.
And we can take those off if that's...
Yeah, that's amazing how they come off.
I know. On some of them, they're hinged and they go up. I wish these were, because it takes two... Really, it'd be tricky to do it with one person because they're kind of awkward, heavy. But yeah.
And then we're going to look at wheel bearings.
I want to look at the suspension
brakes.
stuff. That's the main stuff that I just wanted you to look at, just because I don't know when it's been looked at and what condition it is. There he is. Uh-oh. I can't believe that after 27 years, nobody has done that. Maybe he can do it.
He does. You want me to get the door? We're spraying soapy water everywhere, looking for all the air leaks, and there are a lot of them. This video is sponsored by Mando. Being a bus mechanic is very hard work, and we are constantly, literally sweating our nuts off. Mando is a great solution to solve this problem. Mando is a high-performance, whole-body deodorant that can be applied everywhere, including your feet, pits, and packages. Mando is clinically proven to control odor better than a shower with soap alone. They're all easy to apply. The cream goes on easily from the tube. You have a regular deodorant stick, or even the spray. All the different scents actually smell really good, and more importantly, they make you smell good. Mando was created by a doctor who saw firsthand that BO was being misdiagnosed and mistreated. They have 4 great scents. This Clover Woods, Mount Fuji, Pro Sport, and Bourbon Leather. They also have an unscented. The Bourbon Leather is my favorite scent, but it does not actually smell like bourbon, thank goodness, because you don't want to go to work smelling like bourbon again. These whole body odor shield deodorant wipes are great for anywhere where you need a quick refresh. The power to knock out odor is just a wipe away with these. Mando's starter pack bundle is a great deal for new customers. It comes with a full-size stick deodorant, a cream deodorant tube or a spray deodorant, and 2 free products like the wipes or mini body wash, free US shipping, and for my followers, Mando is offering an extra $5 off your order when you click the link in the description below and enter the code BGM at checkout. That's a deal of over 40% off. Mando is skin safe, baking soda free, cruelty free, vegan, pH optimized to use anywhere on your body, and paraben free. Thanks again to Mando for sponsoring this video.
But he put the same one back on.
Okay, are we one?
I don't see any significance.
So it's still about 120, 122?
Or 122, 120.
Hey, Jonathan? Jonathan? Can I have him step on the brakes? Yeah. Yes? Yeah. Okay, step and hold the brake pedal. Just keep it there. Tell me what readings you have.
I have what I'm told is the brakes about 110 and about the same on the auxiliary too.
So it's still, that one's like 120, 20 still, and the other one's at 110?
110.
110, 110. Is it going down? I hear something leaking, so you definitely have a leak in your brake system.
I'm sure I do, but it's not going down like... There's no visual display of that. Actually, maybe very, very slowly the auxiliary one is going down. At least what I was told was the auxiliary. There's no labels on these 2 gauges.
Okay, so they're still about the same?
Maybe the left one is 110 still, maybe even a little bit above 110. The right one is now maybe 105.
So we've lost 5 psi on that one.
Yeah.
Okay, keep holding that. I'm gonna go look for what I hear.
Okay.
Back here. Push on it hard. Are you all the way on it? We're going to get under this, put some jack stands on it, and then check out the front end on it here. The front end on this is 16,500 pound front axle. That is a crazy high number. That's much higher than even, semis on the road don't have numbers that high. Will you spin that wheel, Jonathan? Sure don't look like it wants to spin. See if you can spin it fast, or I can hear something on it.
I'm spinning this real fast.
Yeah. It's not the brake dragging. That's weird. Good?
I think so. It's smooth. Yeah, I don't think there's anything.
Yeah, I don't hear or see anything. Huh?
I guess we'll know now.
Yeah. I had to look at the thread to just confirm it, because even that other H3 that we just had in here, it didn't have right-hand threads in it. But all the modern stuff is. But we didn't want to stretch out. Normally we use that little protective ring, but your lug nuts have like a, because normally our socket would scrape up your rim, but collar, yeah. So these are hub pilot, not stud pilot.
I knew that they were hub piloted, not stud piloted.
Did you see all the rust on when we took it? A bunch of those are kind of rusty. The moisture gets under those caps. No, I might maybe smear a little grease on them. Just to, yeah. Yeah. Let me take a look at it real quick. Does the tread pattern look pretty even? Is anything wearing weird? That's a big old tire. The brake rotor looks like it was just put on yesterday. I mean, that's crazy. No heat checking at all. Very smooth.
I have tried to open that one. I don't think any air.
So this water filter separator in here was completely filled with water. So probably a coffee cup worth of water came out of the bottom of the drain on it here. And I've drained it several times. We're still getting some moisture out of that. And then some of these other lines in here were capturing water. There's a check valve here. There was water above this. So we've got all the water out of this. And this is where his freezing problem was coming from. I told him it might be a good thing in the wintertime to put a little rubber mat, one of those heated mats underneath this windshield washer reservoir, and get it like a 24-volt one. You could flip a switch and have that keep this warm, and then the heat from this would radiate into this compartment. That would stop anything. And you shouldn't have moisture, but you're going to get some, and they'll stop it from freezing. So I think it might be a good solution. You may or may not need a pair of pliers for that.
Yeah, he was under there with tools, so I don't know if he did.
Sometimes you can do them with your fingers, and sometimes they're too hard. That's a good sign.
Yep. But if there was.
Okay. Everything's responsive under
I
here.
wouldn't say it's terrible or anything. I don't know if you can hear that.
Yeah, but it's moving the whole time, so that's
Okay.
just, yeah. Jeez. Even this little push to connect up here that goes to your airbag is leaking. But yeah, that whole Nordgren valve, there's like 5 leaks on it. Oh no, he replaced both these under here, right? Yeah, it's the new one. Okay, go ahead. It's gonna come down a little bit, Jonathan. Are you okay? Go ahead and flip it. Both of these Nordgren valves are leaking like crazy.
Yeah, but what is that?
I don't know. I can't figure it out.
Oh,
There's a hose missing from that.
you know what? It's right behind it here.
That's a hose fitting, isn't it? Yep. Yeah, that hose is not plugged. It's not plumbed in. There's a push to connect, so you should be able to just push it in the hole.
Okay. You think it's better from this side or the
Yeah,
other?
definitely that side. I can't even.
Okay.
I couldn't possibly reach it from here.
You feel where it is.
Yeah.
I think if I cut this wire tie, it might be a little bit easier.
You almost got it. There you go. Push it in. You got it. Now all those are probably gonna need to be replaced because every single one of those is leaking. I'm gonna go unhook that air hose that I have hooked up. Yeah. He's got it down. It's just tiny. And we'll tighten it up. That's not what's making all this wreck. This little pressure sensor switch is leaking too, so we're going to replace that. Shine your light on that if you can. What is that? That's all metal. That thicker black goo. This wheel bearing was a little out of adjustment and has some wear in it, but we're just going to clean it up. It's not to the point it needs to be replaced. We're just going to clean everything, re-lube it, and he'll probably get another 50,000 miles out of this one. So faint. But you see him?
Mm-hmm.
And they'll start talking to me about something that I've done to them.
Yeah. You would never do that. You shouldn't even do that. But I don't see a lot of the sparklies.
Yeah, there's a little streakiness coming out of there. But not too bad. So we went through all the hubs on here, and this one by far is the worst one. It's on a tag axle, but that's very, very fine. You can't feel anything with your fingernail. We got it cleaned up, get all the oil out of it, change the oil, and again, it should be good for another probably 50,000 miles. It's like 10 degrees overnight, and the tractor don't want to start. The battery just went. So Jonathan's putting the jump pack on it out there. Ready? Cold. Still only like, I think 14 out. We're sending three wheels in to get checked out. One of them's got a slow leak. It's leaking down to like 40 psi over the weekend. And then another one, wheel weight had come off of, and the other one has no weights on it at all. You can see where there used to be some weights. So we're going to get all three of them balanced, and then the one fixed that's leaking. Forward. This wheel weight had come off. It was laying on top of the airbag up there. Jonathan found it, and we could see where it came off the wheel. So we went ahead and took the wheel in to get it rebalanced. But 6 ounces, that's pretty significant. So all three of those tires were definitely out of balance, and so they rebalanced them. And then one that had a leak, it was just a bad valve stem, so they replaced that too. So the guys over at Southern Tire and Mark took care of us. So all of these rotors are solid. That's massive. And they don't have heat checking like we normally see. So we got the new valve there. The only thing different is it comes with a pigtail because the one end is threaded and the new one has like a new fancy push turn to lock instead of threaded. So they send you a new pigtail that'll adapt the old wire to that. All right, so this PP1 push parking brake valve is leaking. If you spin it turn the dial on it, turn the knob, it leaks a little bit. So we're going to take it out and replace it. It shouldn't leak when you touch it. It's very hard to get to. You can get to it though from the outside compartment. And it's way up top where you can't even see it. So way back there is the parking valve next to the tag axle raising valve.
Just inside of the tag axle.
Can just barely see it, but that's the differential plug. So just a little bit of metal, not too much. Go ahead, show that to John. So there's actually water sitting in there. And there's a check valve under it, so we're going to take it off and drain it out. So we're adding these remote pull chain drains to the air tanks, and that will allow him, we can run them over, so instead of having to reach up under the bus where you can't get to when the tires are on it, he'll be able to drain the air tanks just by pulling the cord on it. So we'll get these supported up under there. So we've got, for all the different air tanks, we got a few of them here. Another one in the box. So this inversion valve was leaking back through. So luckily I have one in stock, so we don't have to get that. But then while he was in there taking this out, he found another Nordgren valve that was leaking. So we're gonna have to go to Prevost in the morning and get that and then replace that. And that's all tied into the same system, which I'm not even sure why this is on there because it doesn't have DD3s on. I've only seen this on buses with DD3s, and this does have spring brakes, but this is, this they don't even have in stock. They have to convert it to a different one. I just happen to have this from Luke at US Coach. This is the one that goes to an MCI, but it's the same part number. So that's just pure luck that I happen to have that. They're very hard to find. Okay, so we're still fixing air leaks on here, and there's so many of them. How many do you think we found? At least a dozen, probably?
Yeah, I'd say a dozen.
A dozen. And he just had this in the middle of September at Prevost.
Exactly.
He took it in to get the air leaks fixed and the front suspension. You can tell a story.
Correct. I brought it in because the front suspension was airing down in maybe under 5 minutes, completely down. And I brought it into there. They replaced the two Nordgren valves in the front and the leveling valve in the front. When I went to pick it up, it was completely aired down, and he said, "You'll notice that it's not maintaining air in the front and the suspension. Everything that's left is the converter side." So,
So because this bus is a Prevost bus, but another company goes in and converts it.
the RV part and some others.
So they were blaming the front suspension coming down on the RV system
Correct.
side.
And then subsequent to that, it went to another shop where they fixed, I think, about 5 air leaks.
All on the Prevost side.
Actually, one was on the converter side.
Okay.
It was the door valve.
Okay.
All the others were on the Prevost side. And now that it's here, we've only done things on the Prevost side. There's none on the converter side. There's not that much air. There's 2 doors in the slide, and the slide doesn't work. It's probably a total of, if we're counting the 2 Nordgren valves that they changed, and if it was leaking, there's at least 20, they changed 3. And charged me quite a bit of money to do those 3. And then just was like, the front suspension's coming down, it's the converter side.
And it clearly wasn't. And it's been about 2 hours since I filled it up with air, and you can see it's actually off of the jack stand right now. So hopefully in the morning when he comes out here, it'll still be up in the air like that. That'll be a win-win. Yeah. But there's no air in the bus whatsoever right now. We bled off all the air, so that's just what's held in the suspension right now.
Although we unfortunately found 2 other things.
Yeah, we found,
which is on the Prevost side.
Yeah, with the inversion valve and then another Nordgren valve in the back that's leaking. But we're getting
with a bunch of fittings.
With a bunch of fittings, but we're getting there. We're making progress. But yeah, he paid a lot of money to take it to them, and then they said it's not Prevost problems, something else, and everything we found was Prevost problems. It's a sucky situation because you're kind of, you'd think that's a great place to take it to, that they're going to do a good job on it, but they just didn't look far enough or care enough, and maybe they don't like working on the custom converted coaches like that. And
I'm in New Jersey, and it's a big center, and everyone says that's like the main place to go, but I don't know. It is what it is.
But we're hoping we're going to get the test drive in tomorrow.
Sounds like I'm going to be driving back to Scott's instead of. And I'm a half hour away from Prevost, and 14 and a half hours to here.
Yeah.
So there's an extra 14 in there to come here.
Your fuel bill might be the same as what you wasted at Prevost.
That's true. Yeah, that's true. But it was worth the trip. We're doing good.
This is a nice assortment kit of DOT approved brass air fittings for push to connect fittings. Got this on Amazon. I'll put a link in the description.
See that white smoke rising up the holler through the trees, and from a mile away you can hear them play as they climb that hill with ease. But at the top of that mountain there's a new life waiting for those who can make the run. If they can make it to the top, Scott will put them in the shop till their new life has begun. Mountain, where the buses come to run.